I am here to do a little science lesson with you guys. So you have been learning all about different birds. One of the birds that you'll learn about at the very end of your birds packet is owls. There's something really cool about owls. They are carnivores, which means that they eat meat, okay? A carnivore eats meat. The food that an owl eats is called its prey. You know how I like to remember that? They pray that they don't get eaten. That's why they're called prey. And then the owl is the predator. You'll notice if you have your investigations packet and you read through some of the highlighted things, you will learn that owls like to swallow their food whole. So if they eat a mouse, the mouse goes down their esophagus into their belly, and then their stomach is able to do something really cool. Their stomach is able to take all the juicy stuff like the eyeballs and the fat and the meat and digest it, and that's how the owl gets its nutrients. It takes all the hard stuff like the bones, the skull, the fur, and it balls it up into a little ball. And they're not able to digest that ball. What they do is they actually kind of cough up that ball. They kind of throw it up, and it's called an owl pellet. All right, I have my 3 science investigators here, and they are dissecting owl pellets. We were gonna do that in school. It would have been a lot of fun to dissect these owl pellets, but since we can't, I have my 3 helpers that are gonna show us what they're finding inside of their owl pellets. Now, these owl pellets are actually from a real farm. So I hop on the internet and I say, hey farmer, do you have any owl pellets? And he says, I sure do. And farmers love having owls on their property because the owls are the ones that get rid of the rodents and the mice and the pesky moles and things like that. So he is happy to gather up his owl pellets and send them our way so that way we can see what's inside. So we're going to take a closer look at how to dissect an owl pellet. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna flip us over. So here I have our investigation, our owl pellet. And if you look at what's called a bone sorting chart, there could be, inside these owl pellets, there could be rodents. Those are usually mice. There could be a teeny little animal called a shrew, which is similar to a mouse. There could be a mole. That's what likes to, they're small. They like to dig tunnels through your yard. And there even could be a bird, okay, a small baby bird. So what you do is you have your little bone sorting chart right here, and then you have this aluminum foil, and you take it apart. Now, a real owl pellet looks like this. It's actually kind of hard. All this brown stuff is actually the fur from a mouse, okay? And what you start doing, you can even see there's little bones already sticking out, so I know that there's some good stuff in it. So we're just gonna use tweezers and we start pulling apart that fur. And you can tell that it's actually fur. Once you have it apart, you can see it's actually fur, you know? So once we start pulling at it, we'll get to our fur. So this is how we dissect them. And then once you start finding things, you can see here Jacob found this mouse skull. So it's cool because you can see where the eye holes, remember I said his eyeballs are juicy. So the eyeballs get digested, but the skull, you can see the holes where the eyeballs used to be. We also, when we studied the human body, we learned about mandibles. And a mouse has 2 mandibles attached to its skull. So here's one of the mandibles. Put that down. Here's one of the mandibles that goes with the skull that Jacob found. And since there's one, that probably means that there's going to be another mandible. You'll see bones like these. So Jacob found these 2 bones. And if you look at your bone sorting chart, right there, you can see that that's hip bones from the mouse. So remember how I said a mouse is able to swallow its prey whole. So that's why Jacob's finding all of those different bones. All right, if we look at Hannah, Hannah's working hard on hers. Whoa, Hannah, how many skulls did you find?
3.
Hannah found 3 skulls in one owl pellet. That means that the owl was able to eat 3 mice and digest 3 mice before making 1 owl pellet. So you can see she's got all of her skulls, and she's gonna have a whole lot of mandibles that go with it. This is a great big front tooth, because mice have big teeth. John, how are you looking over here?
Pretty good.
John, what do you have? John's got a lot of leg bones. Oh, wow, you've got some big skulls over here, John. How many skulls do you have?
3.
3 big skulls. Look at this one. You can even see the teeth on this skull. This one has the mandibles attached. Usually the mandibles come apart from the top of the skull, but this time the mandibles are still attached. That's a really cool find. So what we're seeing here are a lot of mice skeletons. One year, I even had a student who found a bird had been eaten. So you can see, this was really cool. I asked her if I could keep this one because this was so cool. You can see the little birdie's leg, so his leg bone, and then his little fingers, if you want to call it that, his little talons with his nails. So that was a really cool find one year. So this was us dissecting our owl pellets. You can see they're still digging away and matching up their bones to what they are finding. All right, hope you enjoyed our owl pellet dissection. Bye.